Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Mecca Mike back with some more Cowboys talk. And man, the NFL draft is 2 weeks away, and there's so much speculation. No, not 2 weeks. It's 1 week away. I'm tripping. It's 1 week away, and there's so much speculation that at this point, who knows who the Cowboys will draft? But what I do know is that a lot of people are debating on if the Cowboys should go wide receiver or running back with the 12th overall pick. And for me, the answer is pretty clear. But a lot of people, especially major media guys, are pushing for one position in general. So, do you remember when Ashton Jeanty was the guy that the Cowboys were going to draft? But now, after a while, people are starting to mock him to teams before the Cowboys because they think he's just the best back in the draft. And I've heard the term generational talent over and over with Ashton Jeanty, and a lot of people think outside Travis Hunter, he's probably one of the safest picks to have in the draft, if not being the safest. And I disagree to an extent just because you never know what will happen once guys enter the league. But I get it. You got to get those clicks and those views. So you got to push the popular narrative. And you don't want to be the outlier because people are going to say, oh, why don't you think this guy's that good? It's not that you don't think he's good. You just don't want to commit that, oh, he's going to change the game and whoever team is going to go to is just going to be great. Sounds good, but doesn't always happen that way. That it just is what it is. So Ashton Jeanty was getting mocked to the Dallas Cowboys up until the last few weeks after the combine, and then it was Tet McMillian, wide receiver out of Arizona, and he was said they were talking about he's going to slip in the draft due to some character issues, but now it's being reported that the Cowboys are interested and could possibly pick Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden. But even with all that, major media people are saying that the Cowboys are going to draft running back Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina. So everyone and everything is just all over the place when it comes to who the Cowboys are going to draft with the 12th overall pick. And me personally, I think the Cowboys will trade down, especially to get that fourth round pick back. But if they don't and are forced to pick at 12, I think the simple and easiest thing they can do is get better day one by getting a weapon opposite of CD Lamb. And for me, it seems simple because if you do that, even with an average run game, you can convert third downs because teams can no longer double CD Lamb. And not only that, you don't have enough people to double CD, try to double Turpin, and try to double a guy like Matthew Golden. Good luck. You're going to have defensive coordinators ripping their hair out trying to stop all those guys at once. And it even is more pertinent, especially because Matthew Golden supposedly runs a 4.2. That automatically makes the Cowboys better. The only way I see the Cowboys drafting a running back in the first round is if one, they trade down and acquire picks, or if they draft a guard slash tackle to solidify the O line so that the running back will be successful. So they'll draft the running back and then following that up with a guard slash tackle to improve that run game. But in order to do that, you need to push both wide receiver and D tackle into the third round. And by then, would you be able to get a top tier player at either position at that point? And it would be a huge gamble. So that's why I think it's just smarter to go wide receiver in the first round, running back in the second, Get the offense fixed with explosive talent, and then decide in the third round, do you go D tackle, guard, or DB? Because without a fourth, you gotta hope someone slips, or you figure that your scouts can find find a great player in the fifth, sixth, and seventh rounds. That's the risk that you're taking. But either way, the Cowboys have way too many holes to fill for them to overthink things and try to be cute. And I get it. I get it. Mel Kiper is mocking Omarion Hampton to the Cowboys because nobody thinks Jeanty is going to make it to 12. But for me, in the first place, assuming the Cowboys think the biggest need is running back, for me, is just lazy. Yes, was the run game iffy last year? That is 100% yes. But 90% of that issue in that iffy run game was because of Mike McCarthy and his goofy play calling, which is gone now. So I think the Cowboys, just with new coaches alone, will make the run game and just the offense in general better. Now, what they need to focus on is to keep this team from being one dimensional. So, in order to do that, the best way is to get that wide receiver that can open up the field and take the pressure off Dak and CD, and to get a running back that has the breakaway speed, the shiftiness, so the O line doesn't have to block perfectly in order for him to get yards. Those two things alone will help the Cowboys. But after the first round, if you do go running back, I will just assume teams will reach for wide receiver. And when the Cowboys get to 44, the best option might just be an O lineman or defensive end or cornerback, which will really throw things off. And then this is the thing I'm worried about the most is that if the Cowboys haven't gotten a wide receiver by the third round, they might look at the board and think there's nobody left. And then the Cowboys will say, "Okay, these are the guys that are left. They're gonna be in that war room talking about, I don't think this guy is better than Tolbert. Or I don't think this guy is better than Jonathan Mingo that we just traded our fourth last year for. So I think we're good. Let's get a wide receiver in the fifth and barely give him an opportunity to shine." That's what I worry about. And don't put that past the Cowboys to do something stupid like that, because they did it with running back last year. They do that with wide receiver and say, "Oh, we got Mingo, we got Tolbert at the crib, we're good." That would make me so mad. That's why I'm like, they have to go wide receiver in the first or the second. So that's kind of what I expect the Cowboys to do if they go or running back at 12. So in order to prevent Tolbert and Mingo being the day one wide receiver two, we need the Cowboys to go wide receiver in the first round. Because I don't know how they feel about the other guys, but I know for a fact that they like Tet McMillian out of Arizona and Matthew Golden out of Texas. And both those guys are wide receivers that make the Cowboys better day one. So I get it. A lot of people want Ashton Jeanty, or they've made up their mind that Hampton is going to be the pick. But again, the Cowboys get better by addressing wide receiver two. And with a deeper running back class, you're better off going running back in the second or third because in either round, you can get an explosive dude that has fresh legs and that can help make Dak's job easier, which which we need in order for the Cowboys to have any type of success. But again, it's just my opinion. You don't got to agree, but if you listen, you might just learn something. Just want to thank you guys so much for tapping in. The draft is almost here, and the Cowboys could definitely throw us a curveball. You never know. They could say, "Hey, I want to draft Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M," or "Let's go with Micah Williams out of Georgia." But who knows? Other teams might get those guys and give us a bunch of great options at 12. We will just have to see how things play out. And until next time, thank you for watching once again. Follow me on all the socials at Mecca Mike, and that's Meccha Mike. And I'm out.